My goodness, this front office / coaching staff just keeps cooking. We got to talk about more moves, some contract updates, some other just random stories to run it down today. What's going on, everybody? Christian Pedersen back with another episode of Seahawks Digest, the show that is like my head's spinning a little bit in terms of like roster moves. I'm still trying to wrap my head like around how that preseason game went, but at the same time, I see the vision here. We keep getting better, and I'm excited to let's just kind of at the same time speed through these next couple of weeks and get ourselves to the regular season because it is going to be one heck of a year. If you want to like, subscribe, share, all those other buttons, I'm always supposed to tell you to push those. It's a YouTube show. That's kind of our parasocial contract. Let's run down the stories for today. First one we got is a stunning amount of moves. 6 total, 3 on, 3 off, including bringing Power Eccles back. Yes, after a 2-day stint with the Seahawks the first time, not but a week ago, Power Eccles is back again, as well as Anthony Hankerson, a running back, and Julian Hicks, a receiver, have both been added to make room, cutting and sending various players to the IL. 99% can't move. Always curious about who's going to ultimately, is anybody going to break through here? I think that the Power Eccles one is the most confusing to me. Just, I get that there's some degree of, you got to make some weird moves left and right laterally to get through training camp, but cut a guy and then bring him back 2 days later. Oh, my God, come on, what are we doing here? That's just... that's movement for movement's sake. Second story I want to talk about is a question about a trade. Now, this was not posed in any Seahawks media that I could find, but in terms of just how I search and scroll around for what stories I want to talk about, you just Google what other teams are saying about us. And Yahoo Sports' Detroit Lions outfit is saying that Oluwadimi, our backup center, should be a target for their trade fixing of the current injury that the Lions have suffered at center. And I'm curious what you think about that. Like I said, this is an opinion piece from the Lions side, and so it was. This is not really a there's a hypothetical Goff for Oluwadimi. Obviously, that's not gonna happen. But you go to this article didn't come with anything, but given what I think is the uncomfortable question of Oluwadimi's at the end of his rookie deal and is not the starter, is a bit of a luxury in that he is more than a serviceable. He is a fantastic. He's probably amongst the top couple of backup centers in the entirety of the NFL, and very obviously has other teams interested in having him be his starter. That being said, he is younger and just has not broken in to take the starting job. So what do? Do you keep him because it's really good to have a really talented rookie backup center on a rookie contract as a great safety net for should you ever need that during the season? Why have a massive gap between your two if you're not paying that backup center a king's ransom? Secondary question, though, is if he's going to be a free agent this offseason and going to want to be a starting center, do you just arbitrarily give him a chance to crack into that and then move on from existing pieces? Do you re-up and just be like, hey, having a really good backup center is worth paying a little bit of a premium? Or do you take an opportunity like this to dish him and just be like, hey, man, nothing but love on all of our sides. You were great for us, but you are probably not going to be a career long-term Seahawk, and so we would like to bring back X, Y, or Z, some firepower at linebacker, some help at the cornerback, although maybe we already have the Lions' top cornerback, so that part of the I'm not saying let's dish him. I just think it's interesting to see other teams start to be peeking around. The inverse of the way that the Seahawks sometimes go, we have an injury at so-and-so, so we need to go get X, Y, or Z. Just kind of an interesting thought experiment to me. Next thing I want to close out with story number 3 is more reaction and rundown to the Devon Witherspoon contract extension. Talked about it briefly in previous episodes of just like hey, this got done and signed, and holy heck, this is a kick-ass deal to get done on his part in terms of the money and just the confidence that comes with a team wanting to pay you a king's ransom to be their starter for a long time. But I think it's interesting as the details get expanded upon to just keeping in mind that we just got done saying with Oluwatimi, it's kind of a zero-sum game, and you have to sometimes have uncomfortable conversations. So it's not like Witherspoon is somebody who is going to be he's not for sure going to get better every single one of the next 4 years and end up being fully worth it. So some of this is guaranteed, some of this is not. And the maintaining flexibility part of all of this is really an interesting breakdown to me of the different years. The cap hits are going to go up initially and then down that next year, and provide a little bit of help and flexibility for the team. Then in 28, go way back up before in 29, just going to the absolute moon, and then the 30s staying up there. But provides some ripcords in that 27, 28 area that could be a good chance to just reevaluate, if you will, and get ourselves to a point where before, when it's in between making that jump from the 20-something cap hit to the 30-something cap hit, that we can move on, pull the ripcord, and have the hit be down in like the 11 and not be the end of the world, a dead anchor. So I think this is a great job all around by John Schneider, both to just get this off the table, answer it, and maybe this is something to say, tip the cap to our new ownership group for coming in and endorsing this, because I'm assuming that these negotiations had to have at the very least been partially underway while the sale was going, and there was probably a ton of communication in all directions about this being a guy that they needed to get paid sooner rather than later. But in a million different versions of this, I could totally be talked into some new owners would come in and say, well, we're going to wait on that, or I want to win this negotiation, or he's not really my guy. I just could have gummed up the works, but Koshla, all the way down to Macdonald, it seems like there is competency and a pretty unified vision of what makes the Seahawks good. And so I respect the heck out of them getting this done and structuring it, though, in a way that is not just entirely handing the future of the Seahawks over to this guy and his ability to stay healthy. Let me know what you think. Like, subscribe, comment, drop a follow. Next time, talk to you soon.